Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. Thank you again for joining me. My name is Ivan Tamba, and I am one of the directors here with the Okra Network, your one-stop platform connecting you to organizations and projects in Africa looking to build a better tomorrow. All right, so the Okra Network is a registered nonprofit creating visibility, bringing organizations in African communities together, and promoting sustainable projects. We believe we can do all this through the power of networking. And today we have Agrey Kimaro with us from Numbers Foundation, which is a registered NGO based in Arusha, Tanzania. Agrey, it's a pleasure having you today.
My pleasure, my pleasure.
All right, so let's get right into it. Agrey, could you tell us a little bit about yourself and then followed by the Numbers Foundation?
Yes, my name is Agrey Kimaro, and I'm a director of Numbers Foundation. Numbers Foundation is a non-government organization registered in Tanzania with a registration number of 00NG/R/2112. Numbers Foundation sees the failure of mathematics as the threat to the future profession that will require mathematics and science in general. So we have been having several projects that are aiming on motivating students, creating a community with high motivated students, so as we can have the future with science and mathematics.
They're working in one of my favorite sectors. I truly believe that education is the gateway. My background in math is not very strong, but I do know that math tends to be a highly emphasized highly emphasized subject in Africa. So I resonate with this quite a bit. Did you start the organization yourself?
The idea of starting the organization Numbers Foundation come after myself. I've helped a lot of students recently. We have this global problem of mathematics, but we differ in terms of what we are lacking. For example, in Africa, we lack enough teachers. We don't have enough teachers, and we lack also good teachers. And in other countries apart from Africa, they lack good teachers. So for that case, I've come from a school without a teacher completely. A school without a teacher completely. So um, I see myself like I was favored by God to be good in mathematics. Then I decided, what can I do? What can I do to the community as a give back, so as to help the same students like I with the same community. For example, in government school or public school or poor, we can say rural schools, normally teachers are not there. And when they are allocated to help us in government schools or in rural areas, they don't like because of lack of, services in rural areas. So in that context, then I decided to find a way in a small scale, in large scale, in future, in a small scale, to help those community. What I did then is to find friends, some of the students that I've tutored them, so that we can join forces and try to help the students who are coming from the same place as I came from. So from there, we start to have remedial classes. We go and help students who does not have teachers. We help them for free. Then after that, in 2020, I decided to officially register it as an organization, so that we can reach more people, because the needs is increasing every year and then. So we try to create an organization so that we can have a lot of people joining the organization, try to help many students as we can. So we get an official registration in 2021, And from 2021 on August, we started our projects.
A lot of the organizations that I meet often get in touch with reading or writing or English as some of the main subjects, and there are a few STEM subjects. What is the overall goal of the Numbers Foundation?
Well, this is a global problem, and having this global problem, we have two criteria. The students who are coming from those schools having teachers and still failing mathematics, that means they lack good teachers. So there is other side whereby the students are failing because they don't have teachers. So coming in all these two sides, when I speak about the first side, maybe the ones, most Europeans, not Africans, having teachers, but the teachers are not good.
Mhm.
Those students need to be motivated. They just have teachers need to be motivated to love and study mathematics. We want to see the highly motivated students. That's the first goal. The highly motivated students to study mathematics. The highly motivated students to study mathematics. When you get the motivated students, even if the teacher is not there, those students will find a way to study mathematics and love it. And in the other side, whereby we lack teachers completely, we lack teachers completely. In this side, we try to fill the gap. We are trying to fill the gap. What we are going to do is to visit the school where the teacher is not there, or the teacher is sick for some months, or the teacher is going for maternity leave. What we do is we find a way to cover the lessons so that the students will not lack the lessons during those circumstances. So
Mhm.
I think these are the main areas. The other area is the last one, the last goal. The first goal is to see the highly motivated students studying mathematics. The second one is to fill the gap of the schools and the communities that lack completely math teachers or math tutors. But the last one is about teacher that we have. Why we say we have bad teachers? Can we change the situation? Can we make those bad teachers to appear good as good teachers? What we do is we normally have seminars every month. Those seminars we try to share with a good teacher, a teacher and a teacher that seems good to students and a teacher that seems bad to students, so that they can share and have peer-to-peer learning, adapting from each other. How can we all teachers seems good teachers to students? So three areas uh, as our goal. The first is to make the student to be the highly motivated students to start the subject. The second one is to fill the gap whereby teachers are not there. The third one is to develop teacher to become a good math teacher so that the students will be motivated.
I like it. I like it a lot. I feel like your organization is very important. Your mission is very important. Your goals are very important. Without figuring out what the problem is, it's going to be very difficult for us to progress
Yeah,
as communities. So I see you guys address the problem, and the problem is motivation. But within motivation, if you don't have the teachers teaching, motivation could be high, but the students' understanding is still going to be low, right?
yeah,
And then even because even if you have teachers, there are the teachers themselves motivated, are the teachers themselves literate, right?
yes,
Um, and not all. I mean, you know this. Not all teachers enjoy their job. What do your
yeah.
projects look like?
First, the core project of Numbers Foundation is known as Give Back with Maths. Give Back with Maths. In Give Back with Maths, we have three branches of Give Back with Maths. The first one, we call it as Give Back with Maths for All. So, Give Back with Maths for All is a kind of inclusion whereby we help those different able students. And we started with this the students who are having hearing impairment.
Okay.
So they need also to love mathematics. They have dream also to one day becoming someone in science and technology. So we try to help them through Give Back with Maths for All. The second branch of Give Back with Maths is Give Back with Maths itself, whereby Give Back with Maths itself is the kind of project which involve both girls and boys. But we have a special kind of woman empowerment project known as Give Back with Maths for Girls, very specifically for girls. It's like empowering them. So
Mhm.
all of this Give Back with Maths projects lie on three main activity that we are running. The first activity in Give Back with Maths is known as school visit. The school visits, we visit the school, discussing with the school, seeing we want to see what the problem or what we can do or what we can cooperate with the school so that we can help with mathematics and science. So after the discussion, we decide to have what is known as a co-teaching, whereby we are going to work with the teacher specific with a certain subject. We also work with school in general, other teachers, so that we can have the actual classroom instruction with them. Then within the school visit, the second activity, we have like revision kind of. You may visit the school when the students are approaching their last year in the school, and you just come this year. You have to do revision to make them revise for those topics that we are not there or we are not aware of the topics. So we have to visit the school for co-teaching, with the school to make revision of what has a past concept that they have to capture so that they can perform well in mathematics. Also, we give them the evaluation or the assessment exam.
Mhm.
That exam will give us areas that they have problem with. Then after that, we help them together with exams so that we can see the progress that they are developing. That is all about the school visit. And this is done for all branches.
Mhm.
Uh, Give Back with Maths for All, Give Back with Maths at the core, boys and girls, and Give Back as for girls. Then the second activity in Give Back with Maths after the school visit is the mathematical technical workshop. Why did we call it at the mathematical technical workshop? As we speak, we have been coming around with a lot of organization, a lot of policies trying to help this performance of mathematics worldwide. But for years now, we can see the problem is still there. The problem is still there. So what we have to do is we have to come with a unique approach, a different approach. So they say don't change a goal, change the approach. So we decide to change the approach, the way people do seminars, the way
Mhm.
people do workshops. We try to narrow it and see what is the actual problem. For example, you cannot use seminars, the same seminars that you instruct or you give teachers from European schools to Africans,
Mhm.
because we define in problems. For example, we like a lot of things. For example, we don't have facilities. Other schools have for facilities. You cannot put us in the same room and say like we all going to teach mathematics like this way. That will not work, because you have to understand what you're instructing is going to be implemented in a certain school. How can you come presenting something using a projector, using a laptop, and you are going to help a school doesn't have electricity at all? I think we should come with a nice approach. You don't have electricity. How possibly are we going to use the same situation to help you know mathematics?
So when you provide the assessments, what do you notice? Are there students that perform better than other students? Are there certain is there a discrepancy between rural children versus the more urban children, boys versus girls? What have you been noticing with the assessments?
Well, um, when you want to solve a problem, you start with a place with a lot of problems. So it's like when we visit the rural area, it's like when, for example, in our first exam, um, only 3 students passed the exam out of 179 students. You can imagine, like, the first exam is like because they were not taught, so you start with those, like a pilot. You give them the exam, then you start to teach them. Through the exams, you'll understand which area these students, for example, if all of the students fell in a particular question, that means they are not taught.
Mhm.
But if some of the students are getting marks in a given kind of topic, that means the topic was taught but not well understood. So it's like we give exam, then from the exam we got those clue which topics are not covered. So when you go to a school whereby they don't have a teacher completely, 100% all topics are not taught.
Mhm.
So you'll find out all of them are failing, but not all of them are slow learners.
Mhm.
So after that, then after the exam, we teach them. After we teach them, we do another exam. Then we can see a different change. Maybe 40 out of 179 passed the exam. So we look on the other students, what the problem again. Then we teach again. We do use different approach. Our goal is like to raise the performance for every school we visit by 30%. So when maybe we find you are at 50% of pass mark, we are going to make it to become 80%. So when you find you have 0% of performance, at least 30% of the students should pass during a certain year of our visit. So that is what we really do with this assessment. You see which areas, and for a point to note, these people from rural areas are eager to learn more than people from urban areas. I don't know why. We have some factors. It's like these people from rural areas, they only think like education is their only way out. And these people from urban areas, they think like, my father has a company, I will inherit it, you know?
Mhm.
So having serious in class will take another factor to push him or her. Maybe a factor like, maybe we are rich, but I want to become an engineer, so I should love mathematics. So we are rich, but I want to become a doctor, so I should pass mathematics. So the other factors to reinforce a students from urban area make people from rural area perform well when they get help than those people from urban areas. So that's why even if we pinpoint the problems, we always find the problems in rural areas. That's why we, for example, we have only one urban school that we are visiting, and we have a lot of rural area school that we are visiting, because we know when you help them a little, they get a lot of marks instead. That is different from those students from urban areas.
How do you see the girls either in the rural environment or the urban environments? How do they compare to the boys?
Well, as I said before, when you speak about the rural area, that means a lot of problems, a
Mhm.
lot of things to sort out. For example, girls in rural areas have a lot of problems. For example, all these factors of girl empowerment are coming from those girls from rural areas. We need to help them through empowerment, because you may find a girl when, for these day scholars, the girls, when they reach home, they have some issues to do,
Mhm.
some cookings, do a lot of things, washing, taking care of their younger ones. But as you know, in Africa, our tradition, boys will go in for those small works, the big ones, but the small ones that they'll not take time, they'll have some time to refresh. And also, local beliefs that girls are there to be married and not to study. And sometimes parents also think like, I'm losing my money when I educate a girl, because when she get married, she'll help the other side or the other family or the husband side and not us.
Mhm.
So those traditional ideas make girls to be less performing, like those from urban areas. Girls from urban areas, their parents are, we can say their parents are aware of the position of the girl in the society, the way girls can help the parents, the families, the how girls as will do the same thing as boys does. So due to this point of knowledge, parents in urban areas allow their girls to study, but parents in rural areas prevent their girl children, to study. So in that content, I think girls from rural areas are perform very poor compared to the ones in urban. And what we are doing about that is, we are trying, in education, we have three parts. In education, we have parents, we have students, and we have teachers. So if you want a student to perform, you should make sure you put the good connection with the three.
Mhm.
So how you connect a parent with the students, how you connect a student with a teacher, and how you connect a teacher with a parent. So we use teachers to help parent to understand that a girl can also help them when she get educated. And we use students to educate their parents, to make their parents aware that they are able to perform. And
Mhm.
also, we sometimes help students through teachers to reach parents.
Mhm.
So the connection with three points will help in helping the students in rural areas, because if this connection is right, when the student, we say like, pay a certain amount for this student, for a certain girl, to get help in mathematics, let's say, a parent will understand, why am I going to pay? Why? What am I going to get after when she graduated? So it's like that. We find different ways to help. Girls have a lot of problems. You may find also this lack of these surf pads,
Yeah.
yeah, for girls. So in sometimes Numbers Foundation, it's not our goals, or it's not our activities, but whenever we find a problem, we find a way to solve the problem, so that we can implement what is meant for Numbers Foundation. For example,
Mhm.
when we find girls, for example, we visit a certain school and find that those young girls, a primary school, those young girls are not aware about the menstrual education. So what we did first is, we find a way to educate them, find a partner organization, find some girls and women within our organization, so that they can give them the knowledge on uh, menstrual education, because some of the girls are, they have that menstrual period once in a month, and those primary students or primary pupils are not coming to school because of that problem. They think like it's a disease, so
Yeah.
they stay at home, and that is affecting much mathematics because um, mathematics is the subject that having many lessons compared to other subjects. So when a certain pupil misses like 2 weeks in schools or a week in school, that means he misses a lot of mathematics subjects
Hmm.
lessons. So it's an indirect way of seeing a problem that is affecting also mathematics.
Hmm.
So we try to help first the problem so that the students will understand what to do and how to get help through those days, and then that's way they will come to school. When they come to school, they will not miss uh, mathematics lessons. Therefore, we expect the performance will be good compared to when they will stay at home during those days.
Overall, though, because you guys have been doing this for roughly 2 to 3 years now, how has community support been?
Well, first of all, our project is a very unique project. I'm very happy for that because whenever I meet a lot of organization, they fear to work on mathematics or to work tangibly with students, especially in the area of teaching and teaching this kind of subjects, not only teaching this kind of subjects. So the society, the community is too supportive because there is kind of awareness like in order to build a better nation, we need to support mathematics and science and STEM subjects in general: science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics. So I think we get a good help. For example, recently I've been given a permission to visit more than 200 schools this year. Visiting 200 and schools this year. This is a permission, and the other schools are coming and calling you like, we want you to visit us. By that way, I can say uh, there is a great awareness on the need of mathematics and science. So the community is supportive, very supportive. Whenever we visit a school, the students are active, participating. They need to know. The teachers are eager to support. They are there. So I think like the society need this. They need science. They need mathematics. They need the change in the environment, and they believe the change will start by having many people having a lot of professionals in mathematics and science. Yeah,
That's great to hear.
yeah,
Something that I noticed. There are a lot and a lot of NGOs, nonprofit work that is done in
yeah,
communities.
yeah,
And what's interesting about that is that here in the U.S., it's people usually
yeah,
tackle it through the government, right? So then they push efforts and they lobby for laws and changes to be made at the governmental level. So it could be the state level, it could be the county level, um, but they'll push for that, right? And I know for the most part that the same governmental support is limited in a lot of African countries. So
yeah.
have you considered, or more so, what has governmental support been like?
I've tried to reach it out to the government. First of all, it's like, you know, in this case of development, the nation development need uh, the effort of the private sectors and the effort of government sectors or public sectors. Uh, it's like, for example, when I say like I got a permission to visit schools, that means the permission is being given by the government.
Right.
So it's a kind of support. If they will not give you the permission, then you are not allowed to visit the schools. So that's the kind of support, and sometimes they even call us for certain event. For example, we have they have maybe they once invited me in I can say the seminar, the regional seminar, whereby we spoke about mathematics and how mathematics teachers can improve in the way of teaching.
Hmm.
Yeah, using the same material we have, the same facilities, the same infrastructures. So getting invited, being invited to discuss on some issues concern education, that cooperation from the government. And sometimes when it comes like they have a certain project, the governmental project, and they need a certain, I can say they need a certain profession to participate in that event, they invite one from the organization to join forces with them. So it's a
Hmm.
kind of cooperation, but as a government cannot do the same to all organization,
Right.
cannot do the same to all organizations. So what they did is like they help the certain organization this way, they help another organization this way. But for an organization, what to be done for an organization to get help from the government is to position yourself, be visible. If they cannot see you doing something in society, how can they know that you are doing this and we can use you to do this? So it's like the way you position yourself at the organization, the way you get good cooperation from the government.
Hmm.
So you must be out from your comfort zone.
Great point, and I hope anyone listening remembers that. If you do in the community, you're more likely to receive help than if you don't.
Yes, yes,
um,
yes.
and I don't know how to reiterate this more because we get messages from organizations, and I ask them, "What do you do? How have you helped? How much money, or how much of your own time and money have you committed to your project?"
Right. Yeah.
Right? Because if you say to me, "Oh, I've only put $100 to my project," say, okay, well, you've put $100, but then you expect $10,000. That doesn't make sense. You have to
Yeah.
put a lot of investment, and not just money, but also your time and your energy too. So that's a great point that you make. That's a great point that you make there. All right, so I do want to wrap this up soon, but before we wrap it up, I want to know a little bit more about you. What motivates you to continue efforts with your organization?
First of all, I believe everyone has a certain purpose in life. As I told you earlier, I came from a government school, sometimes without a teacher. Then having this all knowledge of mathematics, because I've been a good student in mathematics ever since I was in primary school, secondary school, advanced secondary school, high school, and also to my university. I have a certificate of being the best mathematics for undergraduate students in Tanzania. So all of this, I think like it was given to me by God, by His own grace, because whenever I look to these government schools and see all of the students are failing in mathematics, I remember I was once a student of the same kind. Seeing all students are failing mathematics, that means when, for example, if I was one of those students, I could even fail, regardless I was the first in class, because all of the students in the school are failing. So I take it as this is my purpose in life, because God gave me without me giving anything. So I take it as I'll do this forever. I'll do this helping people with mathematics. Also, I've been a tutor for like 6 to 7 years, teaching online. I've been teaching in a bigger platform like Tutor Ocean. Canada. I've been tutoring students from South Africa, from Nigeria, uh, from Canada, from Ghana, Austria, a lot of USA students. So it's like it's my calling. It's like whenever I'm doing maths, I'm happy. Whenever I'm helping someone to change the negative attitude toward mathematics to the positive ones, I'm
Mm-hmm.
happy. So, and I've seen a lot of students that are passing through my hands are doing better in future, are doing better in mathematics. Why? Because I've impacted something in them that could not go in vain. That's why I will always help people with mathematics, and their we can say their inner forces, my inner instincts are saying like, this is what you have to do. And whatever I do, whatever I visit the schools, I see the very positive change, the very best positive change, and that is pushing me to do more. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, yes.
All right. All
Yeah,
right. Awesome.
yeah.
And usually I like to close out by asking you, do you have any questions for me?
Well, maybe I can ask.
Yeah.
I have this idea in mind. Um I want to touch more students, not only in Africa, not only in Tanzania, not only in some countries, but worldwide.
Mm-hmm.
One of my personal goal as a director for Numbers Foundation is to register Numbers Foundation, firstly, mostly in the US, to register it as a non-for-profit organization because it's a big country.
Mm-hmm.
Then to go to other countries, having branches, and impact those to other organization what I'm doing, so that
Mm-hmm.
we can have a world with the students who are highly motivated to study mathematics and performing well, reaching their dreams, and help us to solve a lot of problems that are around us globally. Yeah. So, if I can ask, what do you think? What do you think can be done with Numbers Foundation to reach that goal?
It's a big goal. It's not a
Yeah.
bad goal. I think it's a very strong goal. I think it's admirable.
Yeah.
Whenever we want to branch out in our ideas and grow, I think it takes a lot of different forces to do
Yeah.
that. Generally, what I would say is, I think where you're currently at, be the name in Tanzania, right? Be the
Yes.
force, be the acting driving force that people turn to and say, okay, we need help. We go to Numbers Foundation, and then that helps you create connections with the outer world, right? So a lot of it just has to do with who you network with, who you connect with. um, and there are a lot of tutoring resources in the US and other Western countries. um, Now I always tell people, there's a reason why McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, all these fast food companies exist, and it's because people like options. So
Yes.
just because there's a large amount or a lot of product doesn't necessarily mean that you can't come in and disrupt that market, because
Yeah.
again, like I said, what Americans and a lot of Westerners like is variety, right?
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I have five options and I tried five. I don't like them, but here's a sixth one. I'll try that one to see if that
Okay.
one works out for me. So I'll always say, yeah, continue owning in your craft, continue improving in your craft, and being the namesake for, say, Tanzania, and then branching out from there. But it's very possible. It's
Yeah.
very possible. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Any other questions?
No, really.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Awesome. Well, okay. I wanna say thank you for joining me today. It's been a pleasure learning more about your organization as well as yourself. We have a lot of intersecting ideas. we definitely have an opportunity to work with each other alongside a feminine hygiene program. I think that's something that you could definitely benefit from. And likewise, I know that there are different organizations in Tanzania as well as Uganda and other African countries that could possibly look at your model, how you guys implement math in the classroom, and replicate that. So there's a lot of room for overlap there. So again, thank you for helping us grow your organization, and you mean a lot to us. So we're live on all social media platforms: Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and I will add the Numbers Foundation social media links below. So if you want to follow them, you definitely can. And again, I want to thank you, Agrey, so much for being here with me.
Thank you a lot. Until next time, brother.
All right. I'm Ivan Tama with the Okra Network. As always, together we can accomplish anything. Have a great day.